So before we bring on our next guest, want to read this, some highlights of this article in this week's Queens Chronicle that brought a smile to a lot of our faces, and this man's been fighting for this for a long time. The headline here, excuse my cough there. Forest Park cameras could come soon. NYPD drove around the area after Miller enlisted help of BP Melinda Katz. So this is by Anthony O'Reilly of the Queens Chronicle. And it says here, Assemblyman Mike Miller told the Queens Chronicle Tuesday the NYPD recently drove around Forest Park to scope out potential locations for surveillance cameras that he secured funding for more than 2.5 years ago. Quote, "It looks like we might be getting them soon," said Miller, who cautiously estimated it could be another 1 or 2 months before the equipment is installed. Now, you guys have been listening to this show. No, it's been a while here. It says the original request for security cameras in the park was put in by Miller in 2013, but has been caught up in red tape ever since. State Division of Budget late last year approved a $250,000 allocation. The Assemblyman said there will be 14 units in 7 different locations around the part of the park he represents. He put in the request following a rash of crimes in the park, which has been the site of frequent car break-ins. So joining us now is our good friend and Assemblyman who put in that request. Mike Miller, is this really going to happen?
Nah, I was just trying to fake everybody out. Well, yes. Took 2 years and 3 months. And I did ask the borough president for help. And that seemed to work out. I also asked the police commissioner for help. So, I just pled the case. Like, hey, how long was I supposed to wait?
Right.
It's been approved. First of all, the police department wasted 6 months in the beginning because it sat on somebody's desk. Okay, and they could have moved that process along quicker and shortened it by 6 months. Now they were doing it borough by borough, and they did. The Bronx first, and Brooklyn, and Queens was going to be next. And I just didn't want to wait any longer. But they did come Monday and, scope out where they're going to put the cameras. We wanted one in by the band shell area, the parking lot, but they don't have the proper power to handle the camera. So we had to move it. But we moved it to across from the Jewish Center on Myrtle, facing the track and the cars on the street.
That's been the site of many, many break-ins there.
Well, that's why we put it there. So that should help that. And pretty much every other location was okay. They figured out where they were going to put it. I don't know. I asked how long would it take. He's like, it takes at least a month. So I figured let's give it 2. But if they went and did a site location, I think they're ready to purchase them and put them in.
All right. Well, listen, we're a step closer. It's certainly the best, most optimistic news we've had about the park for a while.
It took a long time. It was, it was a learning experience. I've given money before to other groups, and it took them 6, 8, 10 months, to get the money and do the repairs on their property and stuff like that. But this was by far the longest process. And it's just to give state money to the city. Like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, as I was going through the park tonight, as I was driving through the park, and I had my wife at my side, and I was talking to her. I was telling her, I said, this is going to be great. I mean, you don't need to have cameras catch the crime in the act necessarily. It's people come in and out of the park, and now when there's a crime happening, it gives you something to look at.
Right.
You think about these incidents that happened in the past, and to be able to catch that person on camera certainly would help. But I also noticed tonight, as going through the park, that they have gone and like that where they scrape down the road in preparation of the paving. So it's finally we're finally going to see some a paved road through there.
Yeah. They hopefully soon. But it's not that bad. It really is. even though they milled it down, it's not that bad. There aren't many holes. You can still drive on it. Where,
it's
like,
better.
usually when
it's better now. Now that they've milled it, it's better now than it was before.
Yeah. Usually when they do that, you have craters and stuff, but not this time. So
Yeah.
But they'll pave it soon. It'll be nice. I also gave money to the Parks Department for sidewalks. Within my district. So, they're gonna. We got approved, from the assembly. So we'll start the process now going forward. That should take 10 to 20 years, but at some point.
At some point, yeah.
And also, once the cameras go in, I have $1 million I want to give for additional cameras throughout my district.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to say where they go, but we'll leave it up to the police department. But we'll figure out a couple in each, community and where we can put them, do the best work.
All right. Well, certainly some good news and some good things, going on. So that's happy news. So, want to thank you for coming by.